Hello, it's me. It is Sunday, August 6th, 2017. But anyway, today's video is a little differently. Something I normally wouldn't do. But anyway, today is the day of the Hiroshima bombing in Japan. A day that changed everything. Approximately at 8:16 in the morning a.m. a B-29 bomber was flying over the city of Hiroshima and opening its bomb bay doors, dropping the atomic bomb named Little Boy. Dropped at approximately at 8:16 in the morning on this day. It dropped at a pretty fast speed, but it had a parachute though it sent, and it detonated over the famous building that you probably see on YouTube, on Google, maps, images where the bomb detonated over. When the bomb detonated, there were more people outside because there was an air raid warning early that morning. But after the air raid warning was over, so when the bomb detonated, it created a bright light, a bright flash in the sky, and people that were underneath the blast were instantly vaporized. I mean, just nothing. There was nothing there. If you look on Google Images, at the museum there in Hiroshima, they have a piece where a person was once standing or sitting there. From the blast, their shadow actually burned into the ground where they were. And that's got to be the most horrific thing you can see. That you knew that somebody was sitting there on that ground. But anyway, that was such a bad day. Homes were on fire. Buildings just destroyed. Rubble. The people were affected by it. The ones that were a little bit more fortunate, they saw the Walking Dead, or like they call them they're like ghosts. They see the people with no eyes, and they had their arms out, and their skin was hanging off their hands, like zombies, kind of like. But it was just a horrible experience these people saw. These people in such condition, they just horrible looking figures. It was just bad, just a horrible thing to see. And it just the most devastating weapon that we used on the Japanese. But anyway, it's just a devastating weapon. And it's just something in my heart that I think that's something we should have never used in the first place. And on that day, just using a weapon of mass destruction on innocent people that didn't want nothing to do with the war were killed. It's just, since that day, 3 days later, another one was dropped on Nagasaki on August 9th. That's 3 days from now. But anyway, on the day when it was dropped, when the people saw, there was just death everywhere, just dead bodies everywhere. People that were killed by the blast, their bodies were almost instantly turned into carbon. Just bodies everywhere they saw, and that people died. More people died days later after the bomb and it was just such a horrible thing. You know, you're dying from radiation from the bomb. And on the same day of the bomb, when a thunderstorm developed over the city, and also it was dark, the blast basically covered the sunlight. There was no light. It was just dark, fire everywhere. Just people. Only way the people were able to make refuge was to the river, that flew through Hiroshima. It was just pure hell on that day. Like hell was brought upon them on that day. Just like the devil was there, and people were suffering and dying. But anyway, when this thunderstorm developed over the city, it started raining. But it wasn't just rain, it was black rain, and the people started drinking it. But they didn't know that the rain was highly radioactive from the blast, from the when it was in the sky. They didn't know that they were actually drinking radioactive rain, and it killed more people that way. And this most horrible thing, that you didn't know that you were drinking radioactive water. But anyway, right after the two bombings, it pretty much started the Cold War, pretty much right there. The Cold War approximately started after those two bombs have dropped. So, and after that, after those two bombs, for a while, for many decades, after the 1990s, or right near the end of the 20th century, you know, finally the Cold War was over. But after those two bombs did start the Cold War with the Russians, or the Soviet Union at the time. But anyway, we all hope in the near future that we can not use weapons like that of mass destruction, because it's just something that we do not need to use on people, a weapon that is just so deadly to human life. And I hope that we can move on and try not to forget the past, but just try to remember, move on, just try to think, let's try to not use weapons of mass destruction. Even if it's chemical warfare, nuclear, or whatever it is, let's just try to get rid of stuff like that in the near future. But anyway, I'm going to be signing off here on this video, and please, God bless Japan, and dear Lord, if you're watching down, please protect the rest of the survivors and the victims of the Hiroshima bomb and Nagasaki bombing too. So anyway, that's all I got to say, and goodbye, and enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you, and God bless.